We've seen unique programs, unique to Brownsville, that are now going to be part of the legacy for UTRGV graduate its first students in the biomedical sciences. We've seen the Math and Science Academy, recognized by the Texas legislature with new line item funding to become a model for the state of Texas. We have seen record enrollments, record numbers of graduates in many of our programs. It's been a great year. Since its founding in 1991, UT Brownsville has built a legacy of excellence, access, and service to Texas in our region. There have been many changes, many transitions, and we have grown from a small university of around 1,300 to 8,000. Today we mark another such transition. UT Brownsville, UT Pan American, the UT Health Science Center San Antonio's Rural Academic Health Center are helping to form a new day in higher education for the Rio Grande Valley. A new university is opening, building on the legacies of the University of Texas, which started in 1883 with just 2 campuses, Austin and Galveston, and now has some 15 campuses across the state. Known for its excellence across the world, the new university builds a new mission for the Valley, first to become an emerging research university and then a research university with all that that means for innovation and for economic growth to this region. For addressing the needs of the region with a new medical school and new programs to help with the economic, social, technological advancement of the area. It's going to be a great new day. Now, as we build on our legacies of the past and we look to the future, we could not ask for a more qualified person to lead this effort than Dr. Guy Bailey. Guy Bailey was named the founding president of the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley in May of 2014, just a little over a year ago. Prior to being named president of UTRGV, he served as president of the University of Alabama and Texas Tech University, chancellor of the University of Missouri, Kansas City, provost and executive vice president of the University of Texas, San Antonio, dean of liberal arts of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and as chair of the English department at Oklahoma State and the University of Memphis, and on the faculty, yes, on the faculty of Texas A&M and Emory universities. As my grandfather used to say, "You having trouble keeping a job, are you, guy?" But he's been building some great experience. At the University of Texas, San Antonio, while he was provost, the university added 16 doctoral programs and doubled its external research, thus qualifying it to be among the first emerging research universities in the state of Texas. While at Texas Tech University, he helped to move it from an emerging research university to a research university status, qualifying it for the National Research Fund under the Texas regulations. It saw its research expand by $89.9 million and saw graduate rates increase. And we know how tough that is to increase 1%. He saw those graduate rates increase by 5% while at Texas Tech. This is a great experience that will help with the transitions, growth, and future of UTRGV. At the University of Missouri, Kansas City, there was over a $200 million capital campaign that he completed, helping to see great growth as we will see here in the Valley. And he worked with a medical school and a medical center, as he did at Texas Tech, helping to address the medical needs of a region, as he will here in the Rio Grande Valley. From 2010 to 2012, Dr. Bailey has served on the board of directors of the NCAA, and is on the executive committee of the board of directors of the Big 12 Athletic Conference. So yes, he understands sports as well. As we build a research university, it is good that we've got somebody who not only talks the talk, but walks the walk. Dr. Bailey continues to do research on language change and variation. His research with his late wife, Jan, has been on the front page of the New York Times, on National Public Radio, CNN Headline News, the BBC Radio, the Texas Monthly, and the San Antonio Express and News. Since 1984, he has brought in over $1 million in external funding. This is in the humanities, folks. Over $1 million in research funding. He can walk the walk. It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you the founding president of the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, Dr. Guy Bailey.
Hang around close by. When you follow Bill Fannin, you always have to lower the mic, right? I mean, that's the thing. You can never live up to the example that Bill set. You know, Bill, as he said, came here a year ago as president, and I can't think of a more difficult job you could take on. Think about this. You're becoming president of a university as it winds up its last year before it becomes another. What more ambiguity could you ask for in life there? And not only that, you have another president down the hall there, and Bill's just done a terrific job. I can't tell you what a great job he's done for you, for the University of Texas system, and we all should be proud and honored to know him. I've known Bill since 1998, I think. We were both provosts together in the University of Texas system. We were both a lot younger, had a lot darker hair. I actually had some hair. And it's always been a pleasure to work for Bill. And so I want you to join me in a round of applause for Dr. Fannin. In appreciation for everything you've done, please accept this on the behalf of all of us here and all of us who will be part of the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Thank you so much, Bill. Appreciate it. Thank you. You have to raise that again.
Okay. Well, one last open it. What's that?
Open it.
Open it?
I guess it.
I'm one of those that, oh, the ribbon's so nice.
Isn't that gorgeous?
You know, for several months now, I've been building up to a very big day. I don't know whether Dr. Bailey's going to be around here on this campus on August 31st, but I keep saying we're going to have one last Diet Coke.
I'll be here.
And I'm going to hand him the keys to the office. Today, I don't have the keys to the office because I haven't cleaned it out yet. It's going to take a lot more time. It's amazing how much stuff you can build up in a year. But I do have the keys to the campus, and I am pleased.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, Bill. Okay, I think I'm mic'd anyway without this, right? So you can hear me fine? Good, good, that's great. Really the purpose of this today is to thank Bill, but also to thank you. You know, we're gonna be open, 3 weeks from now, we'll be offering classes, right? And 3 weeks from yesterday, we start. A year ago, a lot of people didn't think we'd make it, but we've made it. And in addition to thanking Bill, I want to thank you because, you know, we made it not because you had me as president and not even because you had Javidan Rodriguez as provost, although that really helped enormously and we couldn't have done it without him. We did it really because of you. All of you pitched in, did the work that had to be done, and this was an enormous task. I've gone around the country and, you know, we've been invited to speak at a number of places about this. People are amazed at what we have done, not what I've done, not what Bill or Javidan or Kristen or anybody else has done, but what we have, and that's you have done. So I want to give you to give yourselves a round of applause, and please accept my thanks. You know, it was gratifying to come in and meet the cheerleaders. And what I always do when I meet students, first thing I'll ask is where you're from, where you went to high school. And I do that for 2 reasons. As I've gotten older, I have a harder time remembering names, but I can almost always remember hometowns. Don't ask why. I can't explain that. But it was interesting. If you go out and you talk to those cheerleaders, they're cheerleaders from Brownsville. They're cheerleaders from San Benito. They're cheerleaders from Edinburgh, from McAllen, and from La Jolla. They're from all over the valley. And we are a university for the valley, and I thought, wow, what better symbol for this institution than those cheerleaders from, you know, and that's a little bit of a drive up to La Jolla. So all of you know that's really what we're about. We also have, I want to introduce some people today, and that's one of the purposes of this. But I want to, many of you have already met the president of our SGA, Alberto Adame, and our VP is here, Denise Molina. Would both of you stand up? Let's give them a round of applause. Our student leadership has worked enormously hard. They've really done a terrific job, and you know, at times when we were having difficulties, you could always look to the students because they were always moving ahead, always moving forward. They've been terrific to work with. I've worked with students as, well, I guess you found out listening to Bill, from all over the United States. I've never worked with students I've enjoyed being with more, and never worked with students who are more rewarding. I want to thank you and all the other students as well. We have some, I think, in the back. What you make this job worthwhile, not just for me, but for everybody else. If you weren't here, we wouldn't have jobs, and we deeply appreciate that. And by the way, when we talk about our first week in a little while, you'll find out that you're going to get a free meal. It's going to be served by all the people I'm going to introduce in just a minute, including me. Now, that's the only free meal you're going to get, but you will get a free meal. I promise. Okay, and it's probably the only time. I will also assure you that I didn't cook it, because you wouldn't want to eat it if I cooked it. I also want to introduce the leadership team. We have a tremendous group of people. I've never worked with people who've worked harder or been better, so I want to introduce each one and have them stand. I'll ask you to hold your applause until the end, because there are several of these, and we'll just spend a lot of time applauding here. But they all deserve your handshake and your applause individually. Our Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, Dr. Javidan Rodriguez, almost all of you know. And if Javidan, do you mind just remaining standing there? They get a good look at you. So we want to make sure they can find, no, just kidding. Hey, and Marty Baylor is our Executive Vice President for Finance and Administration. Many of you know Marty. You can always spot him in a crowd. He's a big, tall guy. So if you have any problems, you can find Marty. Dr. Jana Arney, many of you in Brownsville already know, is our Vice President for Operation and my Chief of Staff. She is probably the bravest of all because she works as my Chief of Staff, and that takes somebody with a little bit of courage there. But Jana's done a great job, and many of you have known her for years. Veronica Gonzalez. Veronica is our Vice President for Governmental and Community Relations. Some of you may have voted for Veronica in the past. You know, it's great to go to the Capitol with Veronica because all the legislators run up and hug her neck. You think, oh, we made the right choice here. She is beloved in the halls of the Capitol. Now, we have some new people to UTRGV, and I want each of you to stand up just a minute, turn around, let everybody see you. Each of these people brings some special skills, and I'll talk just a second about them. Dr. Kelly Cronin is our Vice President for Advancement. She joins us most recently from the University of Colorado. Stand up, Kelly. And you got to turn around. Prior to that, she was Vice Chancellor for Institutional Advancement at Texas Tech University System, where she led a capital campaign of more than $1 billion. Kelly is responsible for getting a $50 million gift that named the Texas Tech School of Medicine in El Paso. I'm not overstating when I say that you can count on your hand the number of people in the United States who know advancement and who are as good as Kelly. We're delighted to have her here. And by the way, Kelly has roots in the Valley. I found out she's most everybody's cousin down here as far as I can tell. But it's been great to have her, and so she'll do a good job for us there. Dr. Teresa Maldonado, turn around so they can see you too. Dr. Maldonado is our Senior Vice President for Research, Innovation, and Economic Development, and she joins us most recently from the Texas A&M Health Science Center, where she served as a special assistant to the CEO. She's had many other roles at Texas A&M, where she was, I think, the Vice President for Research for a while, was the Associate Vice Chancellor for Research. Even more important than that, she spent 2 terms at the National Science Foundation. You won't come across anybody who knows the research enterprise any better than she does. I worked really hard. I spent Valentine's evening with Dr. Maldonado. That's right. That's right. We were. Yeah, I was courting a VP for research, and so it worked. But she's terrific. We worked very hard. We identified her early on, and somebody we really wanted. And we're delighted to have her here. So thanks, Teresa. Now, most of you have met Dr. Frank Fernandez. He couldn't be here today, and I don't know whether he's working on accreditation or psychoanalyzing somebody, but one of the two things. And he couldn't be here. And Chris King, our athletics director, could not be here as well. Chris is on vacation. I also want to introduce our deans, and some of them are new and some of them aren't. I think the three new deans, at least 2 are traveling. Dr. Mark Anderson joins us from New Mexico State University. Is Mark traveling? Yeah, and he's very good. You're going to like him. Does a great job. He's dean of our Honors College. Honors College is very important to us. We want to serve all of the students of the Rio Grande Valley, including the best students. We want our students to have the same opportunities they could have at UT Austin, anywhere else in the state. The Honors College is an important part of that. Dean of the College of Sciences, Dr. Parwinder Grawal. Did I get that right? Did I come close? Is he traveling as well? By the time he gets in town, I'll be able to pronounce his name. So, Dr. Grawal comes from the University of Tennessee at Knoxville, is our Dean of Sciences. And again, someone with spectacular credentials, and we're delighted to have him here. Also new to UTRGV is our Dean of College of Education and P16 Integration, Dr. Patricia McHatton. She joins us from the University of Missouri, Kansas City. Is she here today? Dr. McHatton? She may be traveling as well. And other deans, you know, but I want you to see them anyway. And so I want to ask each of you to stand up as well. Our Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, Dr. Walter Diaz, who served as the Dean of the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences at UTPA. Walter, good to have you here. The Interim Dean of the College of Engineering and Computer Science, Dr. Miguel Gonzalez, who served as Dean for the College of Engineering and Computer Science at UTPA, is over here. Dr. Dalia Guerra is the Dean of the College of Arts and Humanities. The Dean of the College of Fine Arts. And she's also a spectacular pianist. If you ever get a chance to hear her play, you should. I always love to hear her play. Our Interim Dean of the College of Business and Entrepreneurship, Dr. Mark Kroll. And Mark, all of you know, was a Dean of the School of Business at UT Brownsville. Our Interim Dean of the College of Health Affairs, Dr. Michael Lecker, is here as well. We specialize in tall deans. So he was the Interim Dean of the College of Biomedical Science and Health Professions at UT Brownsville. I wish we had time for each of you to introduce yourselves to us because all of you have played an important role in everything we've done. But I do want to introduce a few other people who are new to the university but play important roles, and you'll see why we're introducing them as we go forward. Most of these people are new to the Valley. Some of them have Valley connections. But Karen Adams, stand up. Karen Adams is our Chief Legal Counsel, and she joins us from UT Southwestern, and she brings years of legal experience and also legal experience at a health institution. She comes very highly recommended, and I've enjoyed working with her, and her job's to keep us all out of jail and everything. And so she is our lawyer, and she's been terrific to work with. Susan Brown, and some of you may know Susan, joins us as our AVP for Strategic Analysis and Institutional Reporting. Now, she was most recently, actually, for 28 years, is that right? at the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. Susan was the chief data person at the coordinating board. She was head of everything. We have the best mind in the state of Texas for our institutional reporting. And so I'm delighted to have her here. Susan came here in spite of having known me and worked with me for many years. So Susan, glad to have you here. Myrna Gonzalez is our Vice President for Finance and Public Policy. She brings over 15 years of higher ed experience, higher ed finance experience and public policy experience. She has been with the Legislative Budget Board. If you start thinking about institutions that really affect us, Legislative Budget Board, Higher Education Coordinating Board, you can see where we're rating folks from. And this other institution, the next person will tell you somewhere else we've rated people from. Mike James joins us also from UT Southwestern as our Chief Human Resources Officer. He brings over 20 years of HR experience in higher education and in a health institution. And many of you, Mike has been here for a while, many of you have worked with him. Very good at what he does. Some of you already know Richard Sanchez, who comes to us from the office of Representative Munoz, and he served as Chief of Staff. Richard has has about 20 years in state service, and he's currently the Associate Vice President for Government Relations. He's somebody else. If he walks in the Capitol, they know who he is, and they respect him. And so it was a real pleasure working with Veronica and Richard. This last legislative session was a real pleasure. So, and last, the newest member of our team is Diane Shepard. Now, she also joins us from UT Southwestern as our Chief Compliance Officer. By the way, if I fall ill, do not take me to UT Southwestern, please. Do not go near. I do not want to go near there. Anywhere else will do. So, but. Diane is our Chief Compliance Officer, and she brings years of experience with compliance from medical school and also research. And as you may or may not know, oh, golly, I forgot somebody. And I'll introduce Patrick in just a minute. Yeah, anyway, as you know, our compliance issues just became far more complex, and Diane is great there. Our Associate Vice President for Communications, is that the whole title? Or is it close enough? Patrick Gonzalez. And Patrick joins us from Texas Tech University, but Patrick has also been with newspapers in Detroit and Lubbock. He has newspaper experience in a university. Patrick's main claim to fame is that he was born in my late wife's hometown of Slayton, Texas. And you get a special star if you know where Slayton is, small town. But Patrick, welcome aboard. Is there anyone else that Okay, again, I want to thank all of you for everything you've done for getting us here. Without you, we wouldn't be here. And there's a brief video, I think, that will kind of demonstrate where we've come over the last year and a half or 2 years. So.
For the Board of Regents to make history, to think bold and big, to expand educational and health opportunities in South Texas, to think bold and big, to expand educational and health opportunities in South Texas beyond what we envisioned.
So with that, members, I move adoption, and I ask for your unanimous support and a record vote, as we do need 2/3 vote. Thank you.
Members, record vote has been requested. A record vote is granted. The clerk will please ring the bell. Show Chairman Oliveira voting aye. Have all voted? There being 136 ayes, no nays, the bill is finally passed to third reading.
Today, the students of South Texas are able to stay closer to home to earn their college degrees. This area of the state is critical to our state's future, and our investments in the children of South Texas will return to us 1,000-fold. I've had some fabulous and wonderful moments as the governor of Texas, but I'm not sure that I've ever had one that was any more impactful or one that I have enjoyed any more than being able to walk to that table and put my pen to paper and create one of the next great universities in America. Thank you.
The new university will not be possible without you. What a challenge. And yet, what an exciting opportunity, but what an important responsibility.
I'm proud to say I'm from the Rio Grande Valley, and I move that the UT System Board of Regents name the Union University of South Texas the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley.
To be a founding dean, that is really the opportunity of a lifetime, and one that I am proud to pledge to you all of my efforts and dedication.
What I want us to do as an institution, I want us to first and foremost be student-focused. The most important thing that we always do in higher education is we educate students. If we do it right, what happens here will be all over the United States. This will set the pattern for higher education in the future.
By bringing the best and the brightest students, the best and the brightest teachers, the best and the brightest researchers, and the best and the brightest doctors, we're going to improve not just health, but life. Life in the Rio Grande Valley.
And to focus our research in a way that it can have a very positive impact on the local community, in addition to having an impact on some of the most pressing public health problems facing our whole nation today.
HEB is proud to partner with UTRGV and the South Texas Diabetes and Obesity Institute with a gift of $1 million.
And I hope that you all are just as excited as we are to be part of the first class of UTRGV.
Today, you are the foundation for a formidable learning environment for the medical school.
If this project didn't exist, I would have no other choice but to leave my friends, to leave my family, to leave this community, to realize my dream.
The students of the Valley are ready to move and be moved, to become all that we truly can be.
Tomorrow's students of this new university are going to be able to stay here in the Valley and be happy and have hope. Thank you.
All of you have really been part of something special, and it's been an honor for me to be associated with you and to work alongside you in doing this. I've done a lot of things in my life, and which means I'm getting old, but the truth is I've never done anything that's been more impactful, more exciting, and more gratifying than this, so thank you. I want to go through a PowerPoint very briefly with you, if you don't mind, just to kind of update you on some things and to tell you a little bit about the future. But before we do this, it may be difficult. You know, every day we all come to work and we do things. You know, you do your job, you admit students, you distribute financial aid, you do your research, you teach your students. But if you're able to step back and look at this is really the opportunity of a lifetime. And what you're doing 10 years from now is going to be tremendous both for you and for all the students who come through here. So a little bit about where we are. The next slide. Where are we? When I told you two things when the first time I met with you, one of them was absolutely true. The other, well, it took a long time for it to become true. First of all, I'll tell you that the vast majority, and I meant the vast majority of people, would have a good job in the new institution, and we've hired 97% of the faculty and staff at the legacy institutions at UTRGV, that's pretty close to the vast majority. We had just about everybody, and that was, the other thing I told you wasn't quite true. I said, I think we can do this by Thanksgiving and Christmas. I was wrong. Hey, I hope you didn't bet on me. But the truth, it was a lot more complicated than we thought. The two universities had very different processes, and we needed to let people down as we worked down in the organization hire. So it took a little longer, but the truth is we got there. There are 627 staff members and 903 faculty members already employed. Hey, we're ready to go. Remember that hiring is always ongoing. Some people thought at the beginning this was a way to save money. Not the case at all. It should be clear now this is a way to enhance educational opportunity in the Valley. And so you see that pretty clearly. We'll be hiring many more faculty and many more staff as we move forward. This is just the beginning. We have, as of early today, this number's out of date by now, isn't it? Yeah, we had 26,951 students this morning, but I bet we're at 27,000 by now. And so we think we'll have an enrollment of around 28,000. And I have to say this about Maggie Hinojosa. This is exactly what she predicted. I mean, I'd bet on her predictions before mine. So anyway, that's what we expect. All the VPs have been hired. The last two, advancement and research, and you just met Kelly and Teresa, are filling out their units right now. And we're ready to open our doors August 31st. Now, I got to tell you something. Are there going to be some glitches? Yeah, absolutely. There will be some glitches, some things that we didn't get quite right. You know what we're going to do? We're going to make them right. We're just going to go back and change them. Anytime you start something this big and this new, there'll be a few hiccups. We expect that, but we know that you can help us get those things resolved. Okay, our next slide. What are we? Remember that we're not simply a merger of UTB and UTPA. And keep in mind that there's a reason why we simply couldn't merge the institutions, and it had to do with preferred university funding. More about that in just a minute. The preferred university fund, think about this, Francisco Cigarroa, Pedro Reyes, and Gene Powell, who was chair of the Board of Regents, were sitting around talking about how they could get PUF money, the one resource that the UT system has to distribute to the Valley. And to do that, they needed a new institution. And so UTRGV was formed with the assets of UT Brownsville, UT Pan American, the Regional Academic Health Center, and PUF. Our next slide. What happens to the legacy institutions? Well, you know, we're really proud of UT Brownsville. We're really proud of UT Pan American. We intend to honor those legacy institutions. We'll maintain their symbols. Hey, when you go into the bathroom here 10 years from now, there'll still be scorpions on the walls. You know, I'm not touching the scorpions. All of those symbols are going to be there. That's part of who we are and why we are what we are. We're going to maintain relationships of the legacy institutions. If you're an emeritus faculty member at UT Brownsville or UTPA, we welcome you as an emeritus faculty member to UTRGV. We're delighted to have you as part of us, and we hope you'll continue that relationship. We'll look for ways to establish and recognize legacy achievements in academics and sports, and we'll welcome and work with the alumni as well. Our next slide. Our focus, there are 4 things you're going to hear over and over again, and I will not apologize for repeating myself, and this one isn't a function of old age, this repetition. Student success. We are measured by the success of why is Harvard Harvard? Because its students have achieved and been successful. We will be a great university as our students achieve and are successful. That's the first thing we're about, always first and foremost, our students and their success. And the second thing, educational opportunity. You know, the primary difference between UT Brownsville and universities in San Antonio and Houston is just the range of programs and degrees available to students. One of our goals is to make sure that you have the same range of educational opportunity in the Valley that you can get in San Antonio or Houston or Dallas. Expanded educational opportunity, you'll hear me talk about that over and over again. Medical education, hey, that's one of the reasons the university exists. All of you know that health care has not been very good in the Valley. It's not that it's not good, there's not enough of it. Our job is to help remedy that. And then research on the issues impacting the region. You saw the South Texas Diabetes and Obesity Institute, and we have Sarah here. I mean, this is a big deal. We are really concerned with what affects the lives in the Valley, and we'll do a lot of research on that. Our next slide. Our purpose, remember, we're a university for the entire Valley. Hey, I love those cheerleaders from La Jolla to Brownsville. We focus on success, educational opportunity. We also will become a research university, and we want to reach emerging research status within 7 years. I'll show you why in just a minute. And again, a bicultural, biliterate, bilingual institution. We have an asset that very few people in the country have. If you ask how many people in this room are bilingual, I bet you 2/3. That's a huge asset. Don't you know, in the world that's evolving, that's a huge advantage. And we'll take advantage of that as an institution as we move forward. Next slide. What's been achieved, just very quickly, most of the faculty and staff have been hired thanks to you. And that's quite an achievement. A year ago, somebody asked me what my greatest fear was. I said I had 2 fears. One, that we'd open up the university and not everybody would be on the payroll and not every student would be assigned a class. I think we got those 2 things taken care of. I sleep much better because of that. The faculty have developed a curriculum and have course offerings for the fall. Think about what you did in a year. That's a remarkable achievement. And other people may not appreciate it, but I guarantee you I do, and I guarantee you my provost does. Havidan knows how much you've worked, And just these deans understand that. The first class has been admitted. Maggie, thanks to all you and your team. We're really, really pleased with that. The medical school's been admitted to candidacy by LCME. That doesn't always happen. That's a hard thing. The MD degree has been approved by the coordinating board. The South Texas Diabetes and Obesity Institute, I think they've gotten an additional $6 million in funding since they've come here. And it's quite a group, and they're working very hard. We appreciate it. A competency-based degree program in biomedical science. And hey, we appreciate everything that you've done there. You know, this will be the first such program at a public institution in Texas. And we're pretty pleased with how it's developed. Our next slide. All of you know about Stargate, right? And SpaceX, hey, it's in your backyard. You're going to watch all these space launches here. And if you think about the investment in Stargate from the Emerging Technology Fund, the UT system, the city of the Brownsville Incentives Corporation, EDA, everybody is invested in that. Significant private support. You saw the HEB gift. Now, Kelly and I are used to $1 million gifts, and it's being a routine thing. We got to work on that. But the truth is that the expectations of private support are high, and we've had people stepping up to the plate. We're very pleased with what's been happening. Our next slide. The next slide. Yeah. Puff and UT system was one slide before that. Yeah. I'm sorry. Is there a slide in the middle there? Okay, we're okay. I should number, my fault. The Puff and system investments. When I got here, I thought there had been about a $300 million Puff investment, which would be the largest investment from a system in a university that I've been associated with outside of UT Austin. But anyway, I had Marty tally up the investments, and the UT system investment in UTRGV over the last 2 years is about $500 million. That's $500 million. And you know, I wondered why all my fellow presidents gave me dirty looks. And so I guess that's it. But it's a massive investment. And again, this investment will unfold over time. But construction, about $350 million for debt service. You can see the 3 buildings there. Operations support for the School of Medicine, $100 million over 10 years. Student financial support, I'm sorry? Oh, the next slide, yeah. Yeah, more Puff investments. And then we have faculty startup packages as well, and we expect even more. So that's about a $500 million investment. Okay, next slide. Okay, when people put a lot of money into you, they expect a lot from you. You know that saying, to whom much is given, much is expected. So the expectations are ramped up too. We're expected to enhance educational opportunity for our students. We'll be adding a lot of doctoral and professional programs as we go along. We're expected to move toward emerging research status. That involves new doctoral and professional programs, an additional focus on external funding and on fundraising as well. Let me show you quickly why this is a good thing in the next slide. Okay, I want to go to the second part of this. If you're an emerging research university, you have access to a lot more state resources. Now, as a comprehensive university, we have access to the Comprehensive Research Fund. There are 27 of us, and they're $14 million. Now, it's not distributed equally, fortunately, so we got over $1 million of this. We got far more than our share, but that's not a huge fund. What if we were an emerging research university? There are 8 of them right now. They have access to a core research university fund of $117 million. They have access to the Texas Research Incentive Program of $138 million that matches private donations. That really helps with private donations. And if you just take those two, if you got 10% of those two, what's it, 25 million together or something like that? Those 8 universities have access to things that we don't have. The sooner, if you had access to $25 million over 10 years, that's $250 million. You know what you can do with that? You can figure it out. It's a lot. Now, if you meet certain benchmarks to become a national research university, there's another $61 million that those two institutions, Texas Tech and University of Houston, divided among themselves. That's $15 million a year. The truth is, we have enormous opportunity ahead of us. All of that money can be used for the full range of educational, the educational enterprise that we're involved in. So this is good for the university. It's good for our students. It's good for you personally too. Remember, we'll talk about growing enrollment here. We'll open at 28,000. I think we'll be at about 40,000 in a decade or so. Every 1,000 students is about $9 million in funding. Hey, that's pay raises for faculty, it's additional support for students and scholarships. So anyway, when we talk about these things, remember it's important for the university and it's important for you as an individual. Okay, our next slide. What should you expect? This is really important. We kind of are celebrating, but it's not the end, it's the beginning. We just got to the starting line, okay? Think about this. This is a great beginning. It's not the end. So you got to keep that in mind. And we're going to be implementing a medical school, adding programs. All of these things will change us as we go forward. Remember, it's a new university. We won't do things either the UT Brownsville way or the UTPA way. We'll ask ourselves, what's best practice around the country? What's the best national practice? And that's what we'll try to do. We'll be far more complex as a university than either university was. We'll be integrating general academic and medical education. It'll transform our entire university. The end is that we're looking at an exciting time. Excitement always means change. And so we're looking at a period of continual change, growth, and development. And I think we'll all be better off for it as we go forward. Next slide. Okay, everybody else is moving forward too. And what that means is incremental progress doesn't work. Same thing as failure. So we need to move forward in big, giant steps. And I guarantee you we can do that. I have all the faith in the world in you. Look what you've done the last year, right? Our attitude, no is the last answer, not the first one. And I want you to think about this in terms of students. When students come, they come to you with a problem, a financial aid problem or a problem getting admitted. You know, you look, this is a problem. You know, don't say no first, say no last. And we'll try to do the same thing to you. If you're a staff or a faculty member, we'll try to, if we have to say no to you, we'll try to make that our last answer and not our first answer. And if that's our attitude, we look for ways to get to yes. We're going to go a long way in helping our students and helping each other. And then this is the other thing to keep in mind. You know, every night's Friday night in the Valley. You heard that, right? Not so much anymore. Our competition is not in Edinburgh or in Brownsville. Our competition is in San Antonio, Arlington, Dallas, El Paso, Houston, and Lubbock. We've got to always keep that in mind. The enemy is not among us. The enemy's out there. That's our competitors. And so as we move forward, remember that everything that happens in Edinburgh impacts you, and everything that happens here impacts them. We're all in this together, and their success is your success is their success. Anyway, we've only started what's going to be, I think, the most exciting thing happening in American higher education. It's a privilege and an honor to be part of it, and I look forward to working with you as you go forward. Thank you so much. We have one other thing. I'm going to turn this over to Ben Reyna, who's going to tell you a little bit about the first week's activities. Ben? Oh, there you are. Come right on up.
Thank you, Dr. Bailey. You know, as we were going through the script, I realized, and actually I was told, that I would present a very unique video on the best week ever events, but that my part would come after the historical video. I was trying to figure that out. And so then, I kind of sat there for a moment and it clicked. I guess around January the 5th of 2016, it'll be 40 years since I started my very first day of college on this very campus. And so then I figured it out. And so, but I am honored and privileged to introduce the great celebration as we move forward with UTRGV. Please, let's watch this great video. Should I say more? It's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate the great accomplishments and all the great things that has brought us to this great day. I mean, what a great day. It's always a special, I guess, privilege to serve in a institution of higher education, but it's a greater and bigger, I guess, purpose that we have, and it's also something that I guess makes it even greater when we are able to serve during the launch of such a great university. And so now we're at a point of celebrating the best week ever events. One of the things that I wanted to do is recognize our colleagues from Student Life who obviously have done tremendous work along with the committee from the West Week Ever planning team in developing the various programs. And I wanted to point out also that our cheer and dance squad that's here today, they're actually wearing the uniforms for the very first day. And I think they deserve a big round of applause. You are the first to see the launch of the new uniforms. And also wanted to thank our UTRGV drumline for their beautiful welcoming and motivating drumline as we arrived here today. But we couldn't celebrate without everyone's involvement. And it's the way we've always celebrated. I mean, that's the way we do things at UTRGV. So we are encouraging everyone after this program to please, as you go outside, to approach any of the tables if you wish to volunteer in any of the programs, whether you want to participate in some of the events, whether you want to be a volunteer in helping support the event, or if you want to share an idea with us on how to improve the event. Everybody is welcome. You know, the only way that events become greater events is with, you know, the collaborative participation of both our faculties, staff, and students. And I wanted to also, at this point, I wanted to recognize someone here, and Ms. Linda Uffland, who is with the Office of University Events. And so Linda may be, so they're in the back, I know she was. So Linda is with the Office of University Events. You will be seeing more of Linda as we begin to coordinate a lot of our institutional events. And of course, the Office of University Events is available to assist each and every one of you in whatever event that you may have. So volunteers, please, you know, we hope that you will sign up at the various tables. We will be seeking volunteers for commencement, some of the events that we're going to have, and we also want participants. You know, in Texas we do things, we don't do little things or mediocre things, we do like big things, and the same thing at UTRGV. So, one of the main events that we have, it's a community event, it's a valley-wide event, it's the Tour the Valley. Tour the Valley. It's not Tour de France. It's greater than Tour de France. This is Tour the Valley, DE. So, you know, they should watch out for Tour the Valley. And so it won't be long before the major networks will be taking notice of us down here. And, you know, once we sport our new Vaquero, gear on us. So we are looking forward to, you know, for instance, that's on Sunday, August the 30th, and it's going to start in one team, one bicycle team will start in Brownsville. The other one will start in Edinburgh, and then they will work their way. All that information is available on the website, and we can provide you additional information. So we need bike riders, and it's half the valley, and then we meet in Harlingen, and then we'll come in. So everybody can do that. We're actually looking for people in unicycles. But you know, you saw the fountains and the beautiful facilities that we have across our campus. So there's, you know, the fountains where you can, you know, toss a coin for luck. And so I've been collecting my change for the past month. And so there will be a series of events. So we ask you to join every single event. I mean, this is what makes this events great is the fun part of it. And so we look forward to everybody participating on that. Today, there's also something very special. You see this very special UTRGV pin? It's, you know, it's the greatest letters, right, that we have. You will actually get one of these. But wait, there's more. You will also get the official coffee mug, the UT Rio Grande Valley coffee mug. You gotta have one. And this is the only place that you will get that coffee mug. But there's more. If, you know, one of the things that we wanted to do, so you have the pin, you have the mug, and you're walking around, you know, well, you know, during your break. And so you see how this looks really bare? Well, there's actually a bracelet that you'll get. They'll say UTRGV. It's, you know, the ones that it's really fashionable. Nobody will have one unless you've been here. You will get that. But since we are really doing great things here, you get a matching pen. Same color. So when you do this, you'll see the orange band, you'll see the orange pen. Nobody will do that. So that's it. But there's more. Because see, at UTRGV, we're very unique, and we do great things. I mean, we do great things. I mean, we're not, so we have the pen, right? We have the pin, right? And so we have the bracelet, and we have the mug. But you will also get a very special lanyard to hang your new UTRGV ID when you get one. I'm very serious. Matching color. It's matching color. But this was just for you. It was specially ordered for you, so it has a lot of meaning. And so you will be able to receive all these gifts on your way out, thanks to our cheerleaders, our drumline, and all our other volunteers that are going to be helping with that. So as you step out of the hall here, you will be able to carry your mug. And then tomorrow and from thereafter, we will see everybody wearing this great pin. Thank you very much, and I hope that you join us in the celebration, in the events, and as a volunteer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your attendance here today. Look forward to working with you. Thank you.